So we have a very urgent message. The IRS is warning taxpayers not to file their federal tax returns just yet. You would think this is a joke, but it is not. The IRS is actually asking millions of taxpayers in 22 states to wait and file your federal tax returns until, which they say, they get the best course of action is to wait for additional clarification. That is what the IRS is telling us. Now, why in the world would they tell us this? Well, here's what I want to show you. Look at this. So this right here is actually from, this one right here, this is actually from the IRS website, okay? This is from irs.gov right here. And let's look at this really quick. So what it says, the IRS, and this is from February 3rd, 2023. The IRS is aware of questions involving special tax refunds or payments made by states in 2022. We are working with state tax officials as quickly as possible to provide additional information and clarity for taxpayers. There are a variety of state programs that distributed these payments in 2022, and the rules surrounding them are complex. We expect to provide additional clarity for as many states and taxpayers as possible next week. That never came. It also says for taxpayers uncertain about the taxability of their state payments, the IRS recommends they wait until additional guidance is available or consult with a reputable tax professional. For taxpayers and tax preparers with questions, the best course of action is to wait for additional clarification on state payments rather than calling the IRS. We also do not recommend amending a previously filed 2022 return. That is what they're telling us. Now again, it's actually pretty simple. Many states send out these relief payments to their residents. At the moment, the IRS is not sure if those payments are going to be classified as income, a tax credit, or something else. And how they classify the payment, it matters. The details here matter. So, this is why millions of Americans are simply waiting in limbo. They have no idea if they should be claiming this income or they should wait. But which states are really the ones that are on the hook? Here's what I can tell you. These are the states that you should wait to file your federal tax return because you may have received some form of a payment or a relief check. These are the states that the IRS is wanting or waiting for additional guidance on. There's Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. Those are the states that the IRS is waiting for additional clarification. So if you lived in one of those states over the past year and received some sort of relief, then you should consult with a tax professional. And even then, just be very clear on this, even then, your tax professional might tell you to wait, and they will get more clarification, more information as to how you should file. Here's the other thing. Your tax professional might tell you that just be prepared for to file an amendment later on this year. So if you don't care if you have to do that or not, then maybe that's the road you go, so at least you can file and get some of your money back as soon as possible. Here's the problem, and this is why I say this is a big problem, is because right now millions of people are waiting because they need this money. They need this money so that they can go in and pay for bills, and they can go and get caught up on rent and just put some money in savings and get food in the pantry and put stuff in the fridge. I get it, and that's understandable. That's a problem because all these checks that were supposed to provide this relief, now they're creating problems for all those people that received them. Again, that's an issue. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's not a huge issue, no big deal. Well, here's where this turns into a bigger problem. Think about this. Some states sent out relief payments via check, right? It wasn't a direct deposit, it was a check. Guess what? Let's say the person that was supposed to receive the check, they never got it. But the state is going to tell the IRS that they sent out a $400 check or a $1,050 check to that person, to Johnny, Smith, and if he didn't receive it, he's still going to be taxed. Because according to the IRS, he got the check. But Johnny Smith is going to have to say, no, I didn't. And he's going to have to prove that, no, he didn't. So guess what? You will still have to pay taxes on it. And I know this was the question that I got this morning. What about all those states that receive debit cards? One person said, she got a debit card. She got a debit card with her funds on it. Well, here's the issue. Her debit card, and I don't remember what she said was on it, but with her debit card, she was only able to access about $110. That was it. Only $110. Now, let's say it was a $1,050 card. Again, I don't know. Okay, but let's say it was $500 or whatever. If the IRS thinks you got $500 or $1,000 and you were only able to spend $110 of it, shouldn't that be an issue? Shouldn't you only be required to pay taxes on the money that you received, not the money that you were supposedly given? Again, that's a problem. And this is part of the problem. We're still waiting on this guidance. Whether or not this money should be counted as income, towards your federal income tax return, or should this not be counted as income? We don't have an answer. But again, the other problem that we are facing is that Congress at this point, they don't have enough support at this time to get these payments excluded. And besides the fact, and this is exactly what happened in last year, or 2021, 2022 for the tax year 2021, is many people filed their federal tax return. And this was, I believe, in 2021 actually, but many people got unemployment benefits, filed their tax return. And then Congress decided to come out and say, you know what? Anybody that made up to $10,200 in unemployment benefits did not have to pay taxes on that money. Well, you know what? The IRS, they just finished sending out those checks, those payments that you were supposed to get that refund. Yeah, they sent it out over a year later. That's how slow the IRS is. So for people that are worried that, what if I file my tax return, I get some money back and it helps, but then I don't get all of my money back and I got to wait, file an amendment, and then get the rest of the money back, later on this year, in a couple weeks. Well, either a couple weeks or later on this year, I would bank on getting all that money later on this year, not anytime soon. Okay? So that's part of the problem is you're going to have to make that decision. Ask a professional. Again, I am no tax professional. I am no CPA, no accountant. All I'm here to tell you is the IRS is warning people not to file their tax returns yet until they can provide more clarification. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully you don't have to wait, but if you do, just understand this is why the IRS is telling us to wait. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.